Heart of a Woman.
So we're back, guys. We're on the home stretch, Heart of a Woman, and with my dear sister Dolly. Dolores Gray.
Yes.
Sister Gray, the beautiful Sister Gray, Sister Gray. I'm telling you, I can't say it enough. The first time I saw you, I said, who is this woman? Because, girl, you look really good. So, Sister Gray, I'm curious,
Yeah.
I am curious here. When your husband died, I know you were still looking fine because you're looking good.
Right.
Did you ever consider remarrying?
I never think of that. You know why?
I'm sure you had many suitors.
I grieved for my husband
Yes.
for 9 months. I was sick and I didn't realize I was sick. Right? I remember going to the doctor, and the doctor told me that because of what happened and that is why I'm feeling the way I was feeling. I was feeling pain. No part of my body wasn't hurting, but I'm not well. And I remember the WM came to visit me, and a sister looked at me and she said, Sister Gray, you're depressed.
Yes.
That's what she told me.
And those days you never knew.
I
you-
never felt,
yeah.
I wasn't feeling any pain.
You
Anyway,
were
when
feeling pain of the heart.
right, but I didn't know.
Yes.
So I remember sleeping, and you know what was wrong? All the 5 years that my husband was sick, I never
Left
his bed. The both of us, we slept together all the time.
Yes.
And the day that he died, he got up, we had devotion, and I remember him telling me for the whole week, read Psalm 91. So this morning I said, but every day is the Psalm. He said, yes, read it. And I read the Psalm 91 and stuff. And I will give him his breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock I give him something like porridge and stuff. I remember when he was sick and at the hospital, sister went 6 o'clock, I up at the hospital to take care of him and so on, and I used to be there, and when evening I come back and I remember a nurse telling me, love does kill him.
Oh my.
and the well and does go and leave the sick here though. And there was this nurse, I remember going in the afternoon I go to leave. Sometimes I up in the hospital 7 o'clock with him, and
so you
sometimes
don't
the
want to leave your love.
the ambulance will drop me home and stuff like that. And then this nurse, she used to take very good care of my husband, so she used to be watching me because she find I stayed so long and I'm not going home in this kind of way. And I used to enjoy in that kind of way because she wasn't rough to me or anything,
Yes.
but she was wondering. And then 6 o'clock now I'm back up in the hospital. So this day in question, I went to the hospital and I was so tired and drained. When I came, I said, Lord, I know I cannot make it that tired and stuff. And I lied down on the bed, and when the phone rang and the nurse told me, your husband discharged, I felt so good because I know you're coming home and thing. And then I went and I picked him up and so on. So this day now when he died, and he went to
He died at home.
Yes, when he gave him his breakfast. So when he got up, I said, but boy, you sleep out your snack time. That was telling. I said, well, no, the snack is there and the food is there. Which one when you want? He said, give me the snack. I make the porridge. I give him and thing, and he ate and stuff. And then after, he went to the washroom. And so I'm observing him, and so on. So when I look, I saw him in the passageway coming down, and so he said, girl, I'm tired. I feel tired. I said, you're tired? He said, come. So he went and he was coming to go to lie down in the bed, and he just went down, and I tried to lift him and I couldn't lift him. Wow. So there was the guys across the road building a house, and I called them and they helped me and they put him on the bed and so. And then he put on the fan, and so I was kind of thinking, so I said, you'd like to have some water? He said, no, I don't want no water. He said, I'm good, and sis, with that he passed. Yes, and so on. So I got sick after, and I didn't know I was sick. And what used to happen to me at night, I would leave the bedroom door open, and the children would say, one of them, I can't remember which one, Mommy, why does leave the door open if Daddy come? I say, if he come in now, I will welcome him, because I miss him so much and so on. Anyway, that went on, and I got sick. And when
you never accepted it at that time?
No, at that time, to me, I didn't accept it.
Yes.
And when the doctor told me what happened, I didn't believe the doctor. So I went to Trinidad by my daughter, and she took me to a doctor, and the doctor said the same thing.
That you were suffering from depression.
Yes. I was depressed. And I came back. And sis, I not eating and a day and thing. And I remember, let me tell you, see the believers in the church?
Yes.
We need them, you know.
Yes.
And I remember this brother came, 2 brothers came. He said, Sister Grace, welcome to you, know. The Lord tell me to tell you to get up and come out. And they stayed with me that afternoon till about 7 the night, praying for me and talking to me and so. And I got up off my bed that next morning and I never go back to bed.
Yes.
Never go back. I say I'm not going back because I used to be always lying down and yet eating and that kind of thing. And if you see me,
were you working at that time?
No, I wasn't because when my husband got sick, I stopped working to take care of him, you know, and so on. So I was there and so on, and I never go back to bed. And I came off, and I trust God, and I put my trust in God, and I said, Lord, and so on. So when that really helped me,
Yes.
That situation really taught me a lesson and stuff. And I told myself when I got better, I said I will never go back in that situation again.
Yes.
So as you was asking me before about my son, let me tell you, when my son died, I got the news. I was inside the room looking at TBN. And my grandchildren, the twins, they came by the door, Granny, you all right? Granny, you all right? So I got up. You know, I was on the bed with the pillow, so I got one, and I said, something happened. It clicked on me. Something happened. And that time, my daughter, Nicole, was in the room crying, and so on. So when I got up and they asked me, or by the time they asked her, the phone rang again. So I took up the phone, and then they told me what was wrong with him, and he was on the court playing, and he collapsed, and what have you. And I told the twin, I said, go and bring some water for Granny. Granny, where you want it, in the bottle or in the glass? I said, anyhow, just bring it. I drank it. And when I drank the water, the phone rang again. And then they told me he didn't make it.
Yeah.
And all that I said, I can remember, as Lord, you give and you take, blessed be the name of the Lord.
Amen.
And sister, one peace come over me, I could tell you. Let me tell you, that peace, all now I just tell my children, nobody could take out that peace.
Amen.
God put a peace inside of my heart.
Yes.
And I did not say a word and thing. I went, and by the time I look outside, there was a vehicle outside, because you know this gadget you all have, news spread wild. And
the phone.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this guy was his friend outside and that kind of thing. And Pete was going crazy, bawling down the place and that. And I have this settled peace in me. And
that's maturity.
Yes.
And your relationship
with God. He just
yes.
gave me that peace, came over me, and so on. And I went and I told my sisters, and and that kind of thing. I didn't cry. I didn't say a word. Because the peace of God
yes.
just take me over completely.
Yes.
And we need that peace.
And Daddy truly loves us. And he gave you that
peace
because he knew.
Because what I went through with my husband, and I told you, Lord, I don't want to go through. And when I used the word, there was a peace that, and let me tell you, in this life we need that peace, all understanding and all now.
Yes.
It's inside of me.
Amen.
And my desire was for my children and them to know the Lord. And let me tell you, when my husband died, God provided for me. God is a husband, He's a father, a husband, everything. I never really look for that kind of a thing. And I used to tell the Lord, say, Lord, whatever you have for me, you just give me. And I remember my second son wanted me to come away in Canada. He said, Mommy, come away from the environment for a while. And it never dawned on me to go. I just say, I will stay, and what have you. And I stay, and the Lord really see me through all now.
Amen.
The Lord taking very good care of me. And I just tell the Lord all now, I say, Lord, is whatever you have for me I want. I don't want what nobody else have. I don't want to be a burden to anybody. And sometimes when the children and him tease me and they say, Mommy, Mommy, you're going out and whatever, and they teasing me. I say, it's the man on the wheelchair. Only a man on the wheelchair. As a fun, I said, nothing serious and what have you. Because I don't want any problem in my life. I am so happy, I'm so comfortable in the Lord, I feel good. You
and
understand?
you experience
Exactly.
You experience love.
Right.
You experience
and
love,
not even love
yeah.
alone, the hardship, the everything that marriage bring. Don't look for a perfect marriage. You must have to have the ups and downs and the challenges, and that is what makes you the person that, you know, that God wanted to be. And I could encourage you, if you have the right person in your life, regardless of, and always remember from the background that that person come from. Always remember that. And sometimes you have to give way because of that. You have to look, and that is why in the church today you will find people divorced, remarriage, because you know why? They don't have a prayer life. And if you ain't focused on God, you will go back to your generational curses.
Yes.
You'll go back to them. And these things happen because people don't pray together as a family. You ask anybody, your husband praying with you, they will tell you no.
Wow.
Some people will tell you their husband don't even sit on the table and eat with them.
And that's another thing, you know, that is something that is really happening in families, that people, they're not together anymore, they don't pray together
anymore.
They don't have meals together anymore.
They don't discuss anything together.
Say family meeting, I'm telling you, when you spoke about family meetings, my husband and I smiled because that is something that we do.
Exactly.
One of my daughters was sharing that she told one of her friends one thing, that this family, we talk about everything.
Exactly, and let them criticize you and take it.
Yes, we talk about everything.
If you know you're guilty, take it and
try to improve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't look at the children and say and put down the hammer on them and let them feel that you this boss and you this woman at the home, so whatever you say goes. No, accept your criticism. Yeah, sometimes when I dress, I said, come on, my critics. I just call them. I said, come and criticize me. And I said, Mommy, so I said, well, I said, you see today? Just how I look at stage.
But you always well put together.
Exactly. I always tell you, but all of that is family life.
Of course.
You understand what your children like with you and what they don't like. And stuff like that. And build that kind of relationship. Even though when they get big, they will choose their own way. But at the same time, they know what you stand for.
Of course.
And they would always have to conform when the time say, you know, I know Mommy would like this and so, especially my big daughter, she know exactly.
And you see, because you gave them that foundation.
Exactly.
Yes, in spite of even where they might be today.
Exactly.
But the word of God is true. You know, it says that train up a child in the way that they will go, and when they get old, they will not depart. I look at my husband. I met my husband when he was not a believer.
Right.
And but his mother and father,
his background was
in the Lord.
Exactly.
You know, I didn't have that background in the sense that my grandmother was not a believer, but she's a woman that would always say, you need to pray, you know, and she would pray. But, you know, as we were thinking the traditional, she wasn't going to church, but she loved God.
Yes.
You know, so she gave me that. And even if I got saved at 13, you know.
Right.
But of course I went back in the world.
Yes.
But because she prayed, and other aunties who were believers prayed, and the same thing for my husband, we came back to the Lord.
Right.
But the thing is, I want to let young people know, if you have that foundation, don't go into the world, because truly today, sister, I believe this is the closing.
Of course.
The gate is closing. The gate is closing. The enemy will not give you that time to come back. You see how we're losing a lot of young people?
Yes.
Snuffed out.
But let me tell you, the church has a part to play in this.
Yeah.
We have to go out and do, you know, communicate, go out there and keep crusades and so on.
But I do believe that crusades are important.
Very important.
But I think because of the times, we have to do things a little different, and change is good. Do things a little different. And you see, this one-on-one ministry is very important. The things that you need to share, but young people need to want to hear it as well.
Of
you know,
course.
and a woman like me, I need to sit at your feet, so you can teach me and you can tell me some things, and I must be able to come to you and say, Sister Gray, this is happening. One woman that I will always talk about, Sister George.
Well, don't talk about she.
Yes, as a young, God bless her.
Yes.
As a young Christian, as a young married woman, not understanding
Did
how to
everything.
maneuver married life, you know, I will go to her and she would impart such knowledge.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, that is what the Mother Johnson and Mother Prescott and Mother Young, and say, Mother Young taught me how to make farine.
There you
Come,
go.
girl, I'm going to make farine. They'll teach you
Yes,
how to make
yes.
farine. You know, and this is so necessary. These young people, you know, they look at that as, you know what I mean? But when you go to these people, they will tell you, and they will look at the children and tell you what to buy. And if they sell a ration, then they say, buy so and so. And that is so necessary. Sister George, I tell you, she was the
Yes,
youngest,
I love Sister
but she
George
will
so much.
impart what she has to impart to you. And the
Yes.
children at church, she'll there. And the way how you see Sister George used to take care of her children, that was an example as a mother in the church. And you watch how the way she take care of her children, and you will use the same method on your children. She was really a nice mother in the church. That's a fact I could tell you.
I'm telling
yeah,
you,
she
she
was
helped
very
me through
nice.
some difficult times. Gertrude George. God bless you, Sister Gertrude George. So
and she was a Sunday school teacher too, you know.
Yes, and RI.
Right.
Yeah. So
we have some wonderful mothers in the church.
We do, and I think we need to acknowledge them. We need to really celebrate them.
And you know why I'm
way.
saying about crusade? You see these young men on the road, they need to hear the word.
They do.
So if you have to go and keep spot meetings all about and so for them, because when you listen the vocabulary, they can't help, the devil have them. You have to go and let them know that, you know, Jesus saves.
Jesus saves.
Yes.
And find new methods
exactly,
of doing things.
Exactly.
Find new way. So my sister, you know, we come to the end of the program, and I just want to tell you how grateful, how thankful, how blessed I am every time I talk to you. And you know, we used to talk a lot on the phone. We need to start back that and do some visits.
Yes,
you know how
dear.
blessed I am to receive from you. You know, I want to say God bless you, and I stand with you in prayer as you pray for your children to come back to the Lord.
Yes.
That will happen. You will see that before you leave.
I know, I know. That is my desire, to see that my generation, this generation must start with me.
Amen.
You understand? And to accept Christ.
Mighty men and women of God
exactly.
came from you. Yes, so my sister, God bless you
Thank
so
you,
much.
and thanks for having me, my sister. God bless you too. Amen. And I wish you all the best in your program.
Thank you.
God bless you.
So guys, this was such a warm moment for me, because this is a woman that I love very much and I admire. So I hope that whatever she shared, that you would be able to use it in your life. So thank you so much for viewing Heart of a Woman. God bless you from my heart to yours. Bye.
Thank you.
Clothing and accessories provided by Afro Gypsy Nook, located at 28th North All Fields, Lowlands, Tobago.